Hi, I'm Carly. I'm a full-time sewist. I have been sewing for all of 2024, and today we have the absolute joy of sitting down and discussing all of the failures, successes, joys, patterns, dreams, and creations of 2024. I'm so excited. Grab a cup of tea, grab a snack, let's hang out and go through all of the nitty-gritty details of my creative projects from this year. Okay, let's get into it. I've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. The very first project of the year was the Zero Waste Workwear Jacket by Birgitta Helmersson. A very cool piece that, as the title suggests, is zero waste. So if you purchased the exact correct amount of material, you wouldn't have any left at the end of the project. Very cool. I accidentally purchased more than I needed, so mine was not zero waste, but yeah, sorry, Birgitta. Cool jacket. I enjoyed making it. The second pattern that I made for 2024 was the Aura Pinafore by Soften Studio. I am a huge Soften Studio fan. I think her patterns are beautifully made, and this one is no exception. I really wanted this to be an heirloom piece, so I invested in some beautiful wool, and as a result, it has a very luxurious weight to it, and it is such a nice, soft wool. I just adore it. It keeps you warm, but it still makes you look cute, even if it's cold. Big fan. I highly recommend making this pattern. I think it is just a great staple in the closet. And you can make it out of linen or denim or wool like me. There's so many great options, so yeah. Check it out. Kind of cute. Okay, the third thing that I made this year was such a hit. I have thrashed this blouse. I've worn it so many times. If you're interested in watching me make it, I did make a YouTube video about it. I used a vintage pattern that my grandma gave me, and I just love this piece. It's got the sweetest puff sleeves, this really lovely little collar, and these buttons that go down the back. I just think it's perfection. You can wear it under trousers, jeans, skirts, pinafores, dresses. It's just perfect layering piece. Love. I made this out of a white bedsheet. It's literally still got pen markings on it that I can't get out, but I just think it's perfect. It was my first toile and I just can't beat it. Sometimes it be like that. I literally tried to make it in nicer fabric and it just didn't have the same vibe, so who knows? Okay, after that I started preparing for my first drop of the year. For those that don't know, I used to make big drops of one-of-a-kind clothing and I would sell them on my website, and this piece was for one of those drops. This is an upcycled nightgown. I love this piece. The colors are so yummy. I love the bows at the back. They're very inspired by Cecile Barnson, who is one of my favorite designers. And it's got all these cool little ruffles and asymmetric details, and it's just really fun and sweet and twirly. And yeah, I loved making that piece. I really hope the owner of that piece is enjoying it because I loved making it. Or the next thing I made was I tried again to recreate another one of Cecile Barnson's dresses. I tried in 2023 and I kind of succeeded and kind of failed, but in my head it just wasn't good enough, so I tried again. I made a YouTube video about this dress, so if you're interested, I'll link it here. It's good. But after this, I was like, no more. I can't understand this piece, so I have no idea why I made this in the middle of summer, but I made this patchwork quilted hoodie, and I really love it. It was such a fun piece to make. It is completely made out of secondhand material, cut into 4x4 inch squares. It's got these cool lantern sleeves, a nice big pocket, nice big hood. And yeah, so fun and cozy to wear. If you want to make this hoodie for yourself, I have a detailed pattern breakdown available on my Patreon, where I go into all of the details on how I self-drafted and sewed this up. So if you're interested, you can check that out and yeah, make one for yourself if you like. It's pretty cool. I have so many more pieces to discuss with you, but before I get into it, I am delighted to announce the sponsor of today's video, which is Burger. Burger are making the cutest cases on the market. Oh, you want some cute cases for your technological goods that are also durable and actually protect your technological goods? Yes, please, that's something that I would like. Oh, wait, Burger is all over it. No, but I'm serious. I spent so much time scrolling through the Burger website looking at all of their iPhone, tablet, and MacBook cases, trying to find the cutest ones, and it was not even a task because they are all so adorable. But anyway, I did make a little bit of a selection, so I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing here and show you all of the very adorable cases that I got. The first cases that I'm going to show you are the Tough cases. And these ones came in these really sweet little velvet pouches. This one here is called Let's Go Party party. The tough cases are known for their dual layer silicone interior and hard shell exterior. It covers all around the phone and it has a raised bezel for screen protection. This is my other tough case. It is in the print Lovely Day. And guys, I'm just such a sucker for a beautiful blue gingham moment. Aww. The next two phone cases I got are from the Elite range and they do have some pretty cool features. This is the first one, which is the one that I have on my phone currently, and I am obsessed. The print is called Little Life. It's actually a little green gingham with these sweet little cherries on them. The Elite phone cases have shock absorption. They have raised bezels around the screen and the camera that protect these really important parts of the phone. And it even has a microfiber lining on the inside, which is meant to keep your phone nice and cozy and prevent any scratches happening from the inside of the case. Premium. My last phone case, still in the box. So cute! I've never done an unboxing on YouTube before, so I'm feeling like such a YouTuber, but this is the Sunbreak phone case and it is also one of the Elite phone cases. In other news, I got something that was critically needed in my life, which was an iPad case. This is the Margarita print for my iPad 10.2 and it is such a huge upgrade for me. The print is beautiful. The case is nice and sturdy. It has a little spot for my pencil to go in, which is fantastic. And it has these little grooves in the bottom of the case so that I can prop my iPad up, which is fantastic. And last but certainly not least, a new laptop sleeve. This one is in the print Core Memory. I've been using this laptop case for the last couple of weeks and it is truly delightful. And hey, if you want to get your own phone cases from Burger, they have an amazing deal going right now. You can buy 4 Burger phone cases and only pay for 2. So that's essentially half off, or buy 2, get 2 free. Such a great deal if you want to buy some for your friends or your family. And if you want to get an extra 15% off, you can use my discount code, which is in the description of this video, which is CarlyX15. Thank you so much to Burger for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into everything I made in 2024. Alright, we're jumping right back into roughly February 2024 with another one of the pattern breakdowns that I created for my Patreon group. This is my bubble stitch cardigan design. I love this piece. It's wonderful for scrap busting, and it's also just a fun project to work on because you get to crochet each and every square separately and then construct it later, so you can take it with you because each square is so small. It's a really good on-the-go project until you have to sew it. I'm pretty proud of this piece. The bubble stitch pieces take a really long time to construct, so it always feels good to get one completed. Oh, this was a trial of a hoodie idea that I had. I didn't really push it any further than this, but it was just a fun concept. I wanted to see if the frill on the hood made me look like a flower, and it did. But I just sort of lost interest after this. Kind of cute though. This was another piece that I created for my upcoming drop, and it's basically an upcycle t-shirt. Some of you will remember I ordered a bunch of t-shirts earlier in 2023 to do a drop on my website, and I didn't end up selling a bit of the stock, so I upcycled all of my remaining stock so that I could use it and make my money back. So yeah, this was one of those projects. I love this one. It says so many blessings, but the sew is spelled S-E-W. Super cute. Oh, another YouTube video project. This was my naturally dyed turmeric chore coat, and I think I based this pattern from the Birgitta Helmersson zero waste workwear chore coat pattern. I loved this jacket. The turmeric held up really well. I still have this jacket and I've worn it quite a bit, and the yellow is just as vibrant. The only thing is that I tried to dye each strip. It's actually patchworked. It should be striped, and I tried to dye each strip different depths of yellow, but it all just sort of came out in the wash. It just looks one color. Still fun. Really happy with how that yellow held up. That was my first go naturally dyeing something, and I sort of didn't really push it after that. I'd like to get back into it because it's a very interesting craft. Oh, a few more pieces for my drop. I did some more upcycled night dresses. They're just really voluminous patchwork pieces. So twirly and fun. This one is cute. This one was a little bit more colorful. Love it as well. And this is the third, or I think it might be the fourth, of the upcycled nightgown collection. This skirt was a bit rogue for me. I don't know what came over me, but I just had to follow my instincts, and I ended up upcycling this little Uniqlo skirt, I think it was, and I added all of this nice see-through royal blue material, and then I added these little sequin strips. It was fun and twirly, but a little bit different and kind of like out of pocket for my style. Sometimes the heart wants what it wants. Oh, the chore coat extravaganza continues. This one is really really kind of one that's close to my heart. I think I almost wish that I kept this one. But sometimes you just don't know that until it's gone. I guess that's how the song goes, doesn't it? Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. Okay, this one is secondhand material, patchworked in these long strips, and it is quilted, but I quilted it with just another piece of cotton, I think. Maybe it was like a thicker cotton, like a curtain cotton, and then like another one to back it. So it was 3 layers of cotton. So still quite lightweight, but it had a little bit more structure to it than if it were just the patchwork material. The buttons are the best part. Maybe I'm saddest about the buttons being gone. They're all my grandma's buttons, and each of them is different and mismatched, and they all look just as edible and as delicious as one another. I want to eat all of them. It's very, very bad, but it's true. I also love this big pocket and the little tab underneath it so I could hook my keys there. I only wore it to take a photo in it, so it's just to show what you can do, but yeah. For the 30 minutes that I wore this coat, I was like, wow, kind of good. Oh, Magic Pants by Ann Tilly. I cannot believe that I made this in 2024. I feel like this was so long ago in my lifetime. But alas, 2024. These are really, really cool. You guys know I love the Magic Pants pattern. I made another YouTube video about this, so I'm going to link it here. And yeah, great innovative pant pattern that's meant to always fit you. It's got some elasticated panels and some adjustable clips. It's just a really thoughtful design, and yeah, super fun. Made these out of some thrifted couch cushion covers, and I love them. I love them. Who doesn't love a stripe? Oh, I feel like this project was a definitive click in my brain. Something started happening here, and I don't know what it was, but I made this dress to attend the wedding of one of my friends, and I feel like things improved for me here in my technique. I self-drafted this piece, and it was complicated. It was needlessly complicated. I just didn't know where to begin, and I wanted to have this sort of bralette sort of design at the top, and then have it go into this long bodice with a slightly dropped waist, or almost like a basque waist. I can't quite describe what it was, but yeah, I made it out of cotton from Spotlight, but it had a slight variegation to it. I did an invisible zip, I did maroon top stitching, and I just tried to get the best fit that I could. I think the fit is really, really, really close. There is sort of this puckering and like bunching of the fabric that I'm not completely happy with these days. But I did a really good job for back then. It was a big step forward in my sewing skills. I often get asked by beginner sewists if they should just try and self-draft or if they should use patterns, and I really do think that a blend of both is such a good cocktail for growth and improving your skills. I love learning from other people. I'll always pick up on something new when I use someone else's pattern, but mixing it with self-drafting really gets your brain to think and work actively. Like, I didn't know what I was doing with this piece, but because I pushed myself, I definitely grew. Maybe I need to recreate that piece again because I think I can do it better. I moved houses around this time of the year, so I kind of slowed down my sewing, but I think the next project I made with this little peg bag, I think Americans don't call it this, but here in Australia, this is called like a peg apron or something to that effect. And basically it has these little pouches. It's like a kangaroo pouch. You tie it around your waist and you put all of your little pegs in there that you use to hang up your clothes. I have to explain this because I posted a TikTok about this and everyone was like, what is that? It's like, I don't know, for your clothesline pegs? I don't know what you guys call them. My mum has always had one of these for as long as I could remember, so when I moved out again, I just had to make one for myself because I missed it. Also, if you want to make one of these, I made a tutorial on my Instagram Reels, so check that out if you're interested. I got gifted the most beautiful silk dupion by Silk and Stitch, and I made this silk dupion patchwork dress. It's a party dress. It was light, it was fluffy, it was voluminous, it was crunchy, it was silky and shiny. I loved it. It was delightful. Oh, I made this ruffle apron. This again was for my website, and this is kind of like a different color palette for me. It was fun. It was focused on this Tweety bird fabric mixed with like a Disney princess duvet. What I like most about this apron are the ruffles on the shoulders. There are 2 ruffles layered on top of each other, and I think one was slightly wider than the other, and each of them were cut in a spiral, and that just creates a really different ruffle look rather than just doing a rectangular and gathering it up. A rectangular? I think that's what I said. Anyway, if you've never tried cutting out a ruffle out of a spiral, you totally should because it's a really fun experiment. I don't know if it's called a ruffle, people call them different things, but whatever. You get the picture. I really like this apron and I think it was fun. There's like 3 or 4 bows down the side that tie it together. Oh, some patchwork tees for my next drop on my website. Again, I was upcycling my old stock of these beautiful organic cotton t-shirts, and I was experimenting with different patchwork tiling designs. I was really into like tiles and other ways that people use patchwork in their lives instead of sewing, like, you know, mainly tiles. Maybe a rug, I don't know. That was my inspiration for these 3 t-shirts. I love them all. They're so fun. Also, the reason why I have like a vivid response to these garments is that I haven't really seen them for a really long time, so it's kind of fun to look back on. Oh, I made another one of those patchwork hoodies. I put it up on my website, but it did not sell. And then my mum bought it. I guess it did sell, but I felt like it didn't because my mum bought it. But you know what's really sweet about that? Now me and my mum have matching patchwork hoodies. So that's lovely. Thanks, Mum, for buying my patchwork hoodie. And supporting my small business. Oh, this was my birthday dress. I didn't wear it on my birthday. I just was making it around my birthday and it sort of felt like my birthday. I've always been a big birthday person. Like, I really, really love presents. I just can't deny it. So I get excited around this time of year and it makes me inspired. And this was a dress that sort of came out of my inspiration about thinking about having a birthday, I guess. Whatever. It was based off a vintage butterick pattern. It was super cute. I didn't end up wearing it. And I think I will sell this really soon on my Depop or something like that. Because, funnily enough, I love making clothes like this, but I don't really wear them all that much. I think what I want to make and what I want to wear are sometimes very different things, but I think it's totally fine to have a creative vision that doesn't align with what you actually want for your personal life. That's my opinion. This is something that I did end up wearing on my birthday, and these are my patchwork Helene jeans. These are probably my most worn garment from 2024 that I made myself. I finally got the fit right on these. It's taken me a long time to try and perfect the fit, and these ones came out really good, which is pretty exciting. You can barely see the patchworking in here, but it is a bit of white denim from a few different thrifted jeans, and also a white quilt that I kind of mixed in there. I really like the difference in fabrication when I'm wearing them. It's like there's some pieces that are a little lighter and less heavier than others. It's really nice to wear. Anyway, love those jeans. I didn't expect to enjoy white jeans, but I do. Oh, another dress for my drop. This is a patchwork pink dress. Not much to see here. It's just a really fun pink secondhand material piece. That's all. Okay, I have no photos of this skirt, but I did make a YouTube video about it. I'll link it right here. It's a pleated skirt, and I tried to recreate my all-time favorite pleated skirt that I thrifted a few years ago, and I deemed to be perfect. So yeah, I tried to recreate it out of some thrifted material. I got pretty close, but I think the difference in fabrication kind of let me down a little bit. I have worn this skirt a lot. Sorry there's no pictures of it, but yeah, watch the YouTube video if you're interested. It's an awesome skirt. At this time, I was working on a custom. I think I was working on it for about 10 to 12 weeks, and it was this tulle overlay dress. I've made quite a few of these in previous years, and it is just a tiered, extremely gathered dress. I really love this design because every single tier is French seamed together, and there is a lot of fabric, like maybe 15 to 20 meters, potentially. It changes from each dress. They vary. But a French seam means that the fabric gets sewn on once, then you trim it, and then you fold it over and sew that again. And then I would make sure that all of the seams are facing the right direction, and then I would top stitch them all down. So for every single tier added, there were 3 rounds of stitching. So it is extremely time consuming to make this piece, but I think it's quite delightful, and I am dying to make one in a butter yellow colour. Recently I've been thinking that would be a very fun little engagement dress, or something that I can wear surrounding my wedding events. If I have time, I might do that. We'll see. Oh, another ruffle apron dress. I made another one of these because I enjoyed it so much, except this time, instead of doing a rectangular gathered skirt, I think I did a double circle skirt. So at the front and at the back, there was roughly a circle skirt on the front of the apron. I don't know, it was kind of weird, but it did a really good twirl. I put it on top of my Son de Fleur dress, and I just feel like they were meant to be together, so yeah. This one was another YouTube video. It is a patchwork hoodie that I made for my big brother. I will link the video here. It took me a really long time to make because I did all of the quilting by hand. It's a nice thick stitch that I did with a really thin crochet cotton, and I love the look of it. This is the same pattern that I developed earlier in the year, but I just used a neutral color palette and I made it bigger and longer for my brother, and yeah. Oh, at the same time, I also made a custom cardigan for my brother's girlfriend, and this was it. I made it out of a secondhand quilt, and yeah. Around this time of year, I was trying to develop a style that could be basically worn between all sizes or be free size, and this was the design I came up with. I called it the pepper blouse, and I believe I have a pattern breakdown available on my Patreon if you're interested in learning more about it. But basically the design is that the gathering starts really high up in the shirt, so that no matter what your bust size is or your waist or anything like that, the shirt just goes out drastically from about this point. So it should fit a very large variety of sizes. I loved making the shirt. It was simple, fun to put together, and really flattering on different body types, so it felt like a nice success. Yeah. Or at this time I also made this skirt that is inspired by Egg Trading, one of my favorite brands. I just wanted to do an exploration and see if I could create a similar silhouette, and I actually was very, very proud of the result of this. It's a double circle skirt that has a bubble hem, so it goes completely underneath, and I made it out of this cotton that I got for $1 a meter because my local fabric store was closing down. I think I ended up buying like 18 meters of this fabric or something like that, so I was really lucky that I didn't have to buy something really expensive. I love this skirt and I really enjoy when I get to wear it. Oh, here are all of my other pepper blouses. They're all made out of secondhand material. I made one in light blue. I think this was a Sheridan bedsheet and it was so crunchy and just lovely feeling. I made one out of this navy material. This is a really vibrant one with some like children's bedsheet fabrication on it. I love this one. An all pink one. And then I made another one that had this sort of teal mint look to it, which was really, really cute. Those were all for my website, by the way. Oh, more Persephone pants. You guys have probably heard me talk about Anna Ellen clothing before, but I'm always making either the Helene jeans or the Persephone pants and trying to get the fit perfect. Making pants fit perfectly is just really hard, especially if you're bad at altering patterns, so that's my journey. These ones I thought were a perfect fit, but I think I actually got them just a little bit too tight and there wasn't enough ease in the right places. The design is kind of cool. The denim was so nice. It's from the fabric store, but yeah, I think they're a bit too small. I just don't reach for them because they're not comfortable, you know? I made a hair accessory video. I made tulle hair bows. I made knitted red yarn hair bows, which I love. And I also made a knitted scrunchie. I think I did some other ones, but I can't remember what they were. But these were fun. They were just fun little projects. Oh, I auditioned for Hadestown, and something inside of me was like, you need a Hadestown themed jumper to wear on your audition trip. So I made that. I think that's quite cringe. And even as I was wearing it on the trip, I was like, am I being really cringe right now? But I don't know. I did it. If you don't know, Hadestown is written by Anais Mitchell, who is one of my favorite singer-songwriters, and she has this album which I love, and there's a song on it called Real World, and she says, I want to live in the real world, wake up with real birds singing, loud enough to be really heard by us in the real world. And the song's beautiful, and it just talks about all of these details in life that are so rich and warm and make life worth living, and I just felt like I wanted to sort of add these details, butterflies and flowers and stars and sparkles onto the jumper. And this is just sort of how the song feels to me. It wasn't actually Hadestown inspired, it was more just about this song and how much I loved it. And yeah, I've still got work to do on this jumper because every single piece of fabric that I stitched onto the jumper is slowly fraying off. So I have been doing a buttonhole stitch around every single edge of each of the things to prevent the fraying. And that's taking me ages, so yeah, I'll just keep working on it. I love this jumper. Garden dress, Frock Studios, made it out of an IKEA bedsheet. Love, worn it to death. I've worn it 1,000,000 times and I love it. Everyone should make that dress if it's your style. Oh, it's such a well-made pattern. French seams throughout, couldn't recommend more. Okay. Oh, I made 2 custom pieces for my friend. This is the first one, this is the second one. They were pretty simple and I enjoyed making them for her. You know how I said I moved out earlier in the year? Well, I moved back home. I got extremely homesick and I came home. And I had a sponsored video due like the week that I was moving home and I had a cold. And for some reason, the video that I made was making a patchwork quilt in 1 week. So yes, whilst I had all of my boxes just sitting around, I spent my first week back at my house frantically sewing this quilt. I did all of the patchwork by machine and I did all of the quilting stitching by hand because I wanted to. I don't regret it. I think it's beautiful and I've loved using this quilt ever since I made it. but this was a wild project. In saying that, I can't wait for my next quilt, and it is going to be even more intricate and crazier than the last, so stay tuned. Another upcycled nightie. This one I kept for myself and I adore it. I love layering it underneath my puff-sleeved blouses and my big collars, so yeah, hugely lovely piece in my closet. Oh, I made a YouTube video for that one as well. I'll just link all the YouTube videos as we go along if I remember. Oh, this was Dangerous Females charity piece. I created this piece over a month. Again, a YouTube video was made, and I donated it to this beautiful charity here in Australia called Dangerous Females. And basically the whole dress is made up of these very, very thin strips that descend in this ombre color from a yellow to a pink, and they're all sewn together. And yes, it took me about a month to make, I think. And then I hand stitched Dangerous Females, the logo, on the chest, and it has a little tulle petticoat underneath. I love this piece. It was important to me and I wanted it to be special. I have no photos of this next project, but I made another pleated skirt. I don't know why, because I had just made a YouTube video about making a pleated skirt and then I just made another one. I didn't even think about the fact that I had just done that, but I wanted to, so I did, I guess. Anyway, this skirt was different than the other one. It had different styles of pleats and I learned some new things, so it was fun. And I learned how to do a blind hem, and that was really exciting for me. Learning how to do a new finish is like having a nice block of chocolate. I'm like, oh, isn't that lovely? Anyway, this is such a chaotic photo. It's one of the only photos I have of me in my Darcy bloomers. I think that's what they were called, but I made these little bloomers. I followed the pattern by, I'll insert the name of the pattern maker because I can't remember it right now. But anyway, I wore them to the shops and I found a new size of twisty bags. Fun fact about me, I've eaten twisties just about every single day of my life for the last decade. I really, really like twisties. And I lost my marbles when I saw this big family size. Can you see there's the small size, then there's the party bag, and then there was this really, really, really big. I think it was like 720 or something like that. So the middle size here, party bag, is like 320 grams. Let me get the maths. It's 270 grams, pardon me, 270 grams the party bag is. And listen, the really big bag doesn't exist anywhere else, so I can't remember what the grammage was, but it was like 640 or something. It was so big. Lost my mind. I know this video is about sewing, but please appreciate that was really exciting for me. I just wanted to reunite the family of twisties. They're so cute together. Okay, another YouTube video. I made an Anne of Green Gables inspired dress with a pinafore. Fun, cute, enjoyable. Loved it. Been wearing this dress like crazy. The pinafore, not so much, I have to admit. I made the fabrication a little bit too heavy. You live and you learn. World's Greatest Rock Climbing Pants, another YouTube video. These I have worn to death. I know I've said that about a few things, but these ones I really, really have. I've worn them climbing countless times and they're functional, but they're also just so comfortable for my everyday life. The tea towels have already gotten so faded and a bit rashed, but that just means that I'm enjoying the pants, and yeah. I really do have to stop and recommend, if there's something that you want to wear in this world and you know how to sew, go and sew it for yourself. If you know that you love a certain fabrication and you love your pockets in a certain placement and you know that you want a little carabiner hook or whatever it is, an elastic waistband, a wide hem, make it happen, because it is quite a joyful feeling when you're wearing a garment of clothing that is completely you. It could be so many things, but ultimately if you love it, that is a special thing that you've made. That's how I feel about these climbing pants. I love them. Oh, I did a collaboration with Spotlight, dream collab, and I made this Barbie dress for Halloween. It was fun and chaotic and fun. That's all I'll say about it. Oh, another exciting project. This is a dress that I wore to an opening night of a theatre show in Brisbane, so I called it the fancy dress because the show was called Fancy Long Legs. Anyway, it had big puff sleeves that were lined with tulle, so they had a lot of volume, and I really liked these ruffle details I added, which I sort of burned the edges off, so it had a bit of an ash look on the edge of the ruffle. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it gave it a really nice sort of starched look, kind of stuck up, and I just thought it was really cool. I felt really cool wearing it. I also added a little petticoat to it, and yeah, it was just a fun party dress. Oh, I knitted a bonnet, that's all. It's the Big City Bonnet by Alexa Curry Designs. Very, very cute. A little itchy. A little itchy. That's on me, not her. I just used the wrong wool probably for the job. And I probably have my own specific sensory needs, and this just doesn't really quite cut it for me. But as long as my hair insulates and the bonnet doesn't touch my face, I'm okay. Honestly, you can see from the last 10 projects that this is when I started taking YouTube really seriously, because I haven't done any drops in this period of time, and basically every single thing that I'm making is for a YouTube video. video, so it's kind of odd because you've seen these garments, but it's still fun to see what I made. This is my Luca outfit. It was another Halloween design, I guess, that I did, and I just wanted to see if I could replicate this outfit because I thought it was really cool. This was just a little sweet treat for myself. I made the day dress by Soften Studios. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit tired or flat, I'll just use someone else's pattern and it will make me feel all sparkly again, and that's what I did here. It's just a fun little dress and I've worn it a lot because it's so easy to throw on. Super fun. Oh, and there's me eating my twisties. Here is an important moment of the year. I made this shirt and a skirt and I wore them, and that day I got engaged, which was very lovely. I did know that I was getting engaged on that day, or I was getting proposed to, is probably the way I should say that. So of course I wanted to make something that felt sort of special, and I made a Damson Matter inspired blouse with a really big collar with some embroidered detail on top. Very special. Lovely little flower buttons down the front, and I did my own style of sleeve. I think it was like a bishop sleeve with a nice thick cuff with little buttons on it. I felt very precious in this top. And I have a pattern breakdown for this on my Patreon if you're interested in that. And the skirt is a little green linen skirt. I don't really have very good pictures of it. It's not perfect and it wasn't extremely comfortable. I don't know what I did wrong with it, but I've got to try again. I tried to do a half elasticated waistband, so it was not elastic on the front and elastic on the back with little adjustable sections on the sides, but I don't know, something went a bit wrong here. I made it based off a school uniform skirt, and maybe the proportions are just a little odd for an adult. That's alright. Oh, I made the Cora dress. I tested this pattern and it is delightful. I made it out of a bright yellow daffodil cotton. I did 2 layers of a bias cut skirt so you can see the 2 levels, and yeah, kind of fun and cute. That's all. It's kind of a different style for me to wear, and I'm not sure if it's totally me, but I loved the dress pattern and I enjoyed making it. I also tested again for Mila Oni patterns, and this is the Liliana dress. I don't really have any photos of me wearing it because it really isn't my style. I thought it could be, but it really isn't. I wore it in this video, and that's all. The Garden Blouse by Frock Studios. Again, I love this pattern. I made it in the short version in this crispy blue cotton, and I adore it. I think the cotton is a little too crispy for my taste. I think this pattern goes really well with a nice sort of lighter cotton because you do all of this pleating, or I think they're called pin tucks. You do all of these pin tucks, and that sort of adds a little bit of structure or reinforcement to the fabrication. So I think it worked better when I used the lighter bed linen from IKEA rather than a really crispy quilting cotton. That's my opinion, but I adore this pattern. 10 out of 10. Oh, I got addicted to another pattern. This is the Juno dress by Spaghetti Western Sewing, and I made 2 of them immediately after each other because I loved it so much. The first one is made out of an IKEA blanket because the print was so cute. I like this dress in this print, but the fabrication does pill a lot because it is literally a blanket, so I don't know if I would recommend, but super cute. And I also made it out of my favorite childhood bed sheet that I found at the thrift store very recently, and it has all of these horses on it. At the end of the year, I got really addicted to making horse-inspired things. I don't apologize for this. I'm a horse girl. We're almost at the end of the list, guys. Everything sort of changed after I got engaged because I knew that once I got engaged, it would be crunch time making my own wedding dress. So there aren't many more projects for the rest of the year. I did sew my own wedding invitation though. Elijah designed the actual art of it. He is a 2D animator, so he's very good at drawing, of course. And so he drew it all out, and then I traced it out and I made it all out of fabric. I glued all the fabric on, and then I did basting stitches throughout, and then I slowly did a tiny stitch around every single detail, which was actually really unnecessary, but whatever. What isn't pictured here is that I hand embroidered our names, the date, the location, the dress code, the event website, and the password, and all of the details, which obviously I can't post on the internet. But yeah, I wish I could show you the finished product because it's really cool, I think. And I also did this little patchwork border and then a red binding that I hand stitched. It was so fun to make, a little bit extra, but whatever. This one I haven't completed, of course, but it's my wedding dress. I know some of you will be following along with my wedding dressmaking series, which by the way, we're getting back to really soon. Don't worry. I've been working on this ever since I got engaged, and it's been a little bit of a huge learning journey, but I think it's all starting to make sense now. I say with the confidence that I really don't have, but I'm trying to emulate. Here are some of the last things that I've made in the year. I made the Gracie Steele roving romper. This is a huge favorite. I've gone roller skating in it, I've gone swimming in it, I've gone climbing in it. It's a really fun active piece, and I'm going to make another one very soon. I made the upcycled baby tee by Share the Label. I think I've made a few of these for my stretch sewing video, and again, love it. Super fun, cool design because you can upcycle a t-shirt you've already got, make it into a little baby tee. Love it. Oh, this is the shirt that I made for the pattern breakdown. It's a replica of the one that I wore when I got engaged, which is the Damson Matter inspired blouse. It's exactly the same pattern, but I made it out of this blue IKEA bed sheet, and I added these maroon buttons down the front with hand-stitched buttonholes and little embroidered horses on either collar. I think I would like to add a lot more embroidery on the collar, so I might work on it throughout next year. We'll see. Don't mind this photo, it's the only one I have. 2 more projects for the year. I made this patchwork skirt. It is my December pattern breakdown for Patreon. It's so simple, and I upcycled it from a Uniqlo skirt, a little mini skirt, and then I made all of these cuts and patchworked it throughout. Fun, cute, and I wore it on Christmas Day. That's a fact that you didn't need to know, but it is true. And lastly, my very, very final project for 2024 was the all-state shirt pattern by Merchant and Mills. Unfortunately, did not have a photo of the finished product, but I made this for my lovely fiance Elijah out of a beautiful cream linen, and I hand-stitched probably 80% of the shirt. All of the invisible seams, like the shoulder and the side seams, machine stitched. Everything visible, hand stitched. And I made sure it all had French seams and was just as high quality as possible. And yeah, this pattern is beautiful. It's unisex. It looks great on him. I think it looked good on me too. So I don't know. Check it out if you want. I loved this pattern. I'm gonna make one for myself at some stage. All in all, I made 72 garments this year, which is a pretty good effort. It was a big year of learning and growth, as you can probably see. And if you can't tell from the big smile on my face, I just love sewing. It was so much fun getting to sew all of these pieces. And honestly, getting to learn is just the greatest privilege. The connection between humans and clothing is really special to me. We have stories behind all of our clothes and the reasons that we choose certain things and why we wear them and how we treat them. It all just paints a beautiful picture, and I'm just delighted by it all and very curious too. There is so much to learn, so I really look forward in 2025 to expanding my skill set. I really want to learn more about couture and gown making. I'm also obsessed with hand stitching and hand embroidery details. And maybe I want to learn a little bit more about knitting. I'm very interested in slow sewing techniques, and I'll be moving out soon with my soon-to-be husband, so stay tuned for some DIY stuff. I think I want to make some things for my apartment, so that's going to be really fun. Anyway, I did not expect this video to be so long, but if you're still here, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I feel it is such a deep privilege that I get to spend time with you, and I would love to know, what did you learn in 2024 in your creative practice? Did you find any cool patterns? Did you have any big successes, big growth moments? I would love to hear all about it. Tell me everything. Thanks so much for watching my videos in 2024, and to everyone that pitches in the comment section, please know that I read every single comment. I love hearing about what you guys are up to, what you're working on, and thank you for everything that you've taught me this year. I have learned so much from you guys, so I am truly appreciative, and I'm sending you so much love. Welcome to 2025. I hope that you have the most fantastic year and that you get to make lots of really cool projects. And yeah, can't wait to spend the year with you guys, sewing, making things, having fun. Thanks for watching my 2024 sewing recap. Sending lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!